I'm going to be doing a video testing two heat blankets. This one is a 12 volt heat blanket. It takes about 68 watts. I think when I used it before, then I have this one, which is an AC powered heat blanket. I think this takes about 119 watts. I want to test them and see which one actually lasts longer. On a Powerstation, once I have my River 2 charged 100%, I'm going to start using it on this one until it dies or it shuts off. I believe the River 2 inverter shuts off at 5% battery left, so it will go that far. We'll see how much time that takes for it to do that. This one should run out first. At most 2.5 to 3 hours, I would think, but it does shut itself off, so it might actually run longer than this one if it reaches temperature faster and stays off longer. This one also shuts off, but usually runs a lot longer to do so. This one I got at Ollie's for 20 bucks. This is something I bought off Amazon a few years ago. I think it was $25. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on my bed, or I'll put one of them on my bed, put my blanket over it, and just that way it traps the heat in. Use it like I would be if I was sleeping in them, and then see which one they go. This one does not have a power setting. It's just on or it's off, not. This one has power settings. So I'm going to set it to the high mode. I could check to see what the wattage is on the low and all that. But I'm going to put it on high and let it go from there. And see what kind of time I get. Right now my River 2 is showing 5 minutes left to charge to full. So when that's done, I'll be plugging this in, starting it up. I'll bring my clock over to it to sit on top. And then I'll come back when it's done and recharge the Powerstation and then do this one. This one will take the longest, I think. Alright, my Powerstation's at 100%. It stopped charging. I haven't turned the AC on yet. It is 2:21 p.m. January 9th, Thursday. It's like 73 in the room. Turn the AC on. Cord is, or the thing is powered. Turn power on. Right now, that should be full power. 123, 122 watts. Let me see if I go down in power. All that really seems to do is make it shut off faster. So I'm going to put it to 100% full power. Leave it on. The heat blanket is up underneath here. So trap the heat in, make it run like it would be, and we'll see how long this runs it for. I am guessing up to 3 hours, depending on how often it shuts off. Alright, it is 4:52. We're down to 33%. Go back to the thermometer here. Turn it on. 115 degrees underneath here. Alright, it shut off. It's 5:42. Alright, so right at 3.5 hours, it would power it on high. That is a small power station. It's like 265 watt hour or something like that. 256 watt hours. Alright, so I gotta charge this back up, and then I will test the other one tomorrow. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop doing the test with this because over the last 2 hours the cord keeps shutting off or losing power, and it's just too loose in here. This was hanging down. I thought that might be the problem, but I moved it up here and it still did it after a while. So I'm going to have to try to do something to make this fit in there snug, or replace this with like one of those blue sea ones. I have to order a few of those and then redo this test. But this one here is just too loose inside these. I mean, just like that, it's already off. And you have to keep doing that over and over again. But you can see it went down to 63%, and that was over the course of, I mean, if you, probably 3 hours of actually being plugged in. So it's been over 5 hours, but this is just too loose to bother keep going with that. So I am going to turn this off. Alright, it seemed like a temporary fix. I used some just regular old Scotch tape, wrapped it around here until this is no longer loose in there. We'll see if that works. If it does, I will start this test over tomorrow after I recharge the power station and get an accurate time. So I'm just going to leave it plugged in at least for a couple hours and see if it ever shuts itself off. Alright, it's been running straight for about 2 hours now. We're down to 24% on the power station. So right now the blanket is off. But I am going to unplug it. This tape has kept it from shutting us off in 2 hours. So I'm going to do is recharge this overnight and start the test over tomorrow. That way we get an accurate time on how long it actually runs for. Alright. So next morning, power station at 100%. Turn this back on. Now this, with the tape here, this actually stayed on for 2 hours. So we'll see how long it lasts today. Obviously the timer says 5 hours. So probably around 3:20 or so. But with the tape in here, this doesn't wiggle at all in there. So that should be better. I ordered a couple of marine ones that have like the little like gasket or something in it. It also keeps it sturdy in there, so I'll be able to replace that later. But for now, this will work. Alright, it's 2:38. It's still on. Temperature underneath there is around 88 degrees. This one stays off a lot longer, so it's probably closer to the other one on low power. I've never tested the other one on low power to know what temperature it gets. But it shows 55% usage so far, and I think I started around 11, so it's been almost 4 hours. Alright, it's 5 p.m. Still going at 13%. It says 37 minutes left. Alright. It did not make it past 5:30. This was off, and now it's showing 4%. And of course it shut this off. And this tape here kept it from shutting off the entire time. So that's an easy fix for it. It just helps keep that from being loose in there. So the 12-volt blanket lasted about 6.5 hours total. I'll have to test the other one on low to see how long it can go on low. But on high, you won't get more than 3.5 hours. And just to show what time I'm starting at, it's right around 2:45. I'm going to do one more test with the AC powered one on the lowest setting this time. You can see the Powerstation at 100%. Okay, it is powered on. Put to the lowest setting. And not even showing any output yet. Maybe it's just too warm in here for the lowest setting. Here, put on 2 bars, start pulling power. So I'm gonna leave it on 2 bars until this runs out of power. And this is controlled by a thermostat somewhere in the controller. Not sure where. As you can see, it's already staying off more often than running. So we'll see how long this lasts. Right now, it says 6 hours, but it's jumping all over the place because it's jumping up and down wattage. Alright, I'll come back when this is done. Alright, the room temperature is 72. We're down to 77% on here. It's still set to level 2. And it is 77 degrees under the blanket. So I'm going to turn this up to level 3. And we'll see what kind of difference that makes. It should run more often, but we're not sure how much more often. It's going to be much warmer in there already, but let's see what it says. 78. I'll leave it in there longer. It's now saying 3 hours left. I'll probably come back in an hour and see what temperature it's saying it is underneath there. Alright, we're down to 22%. It is now 9 o'clock. So I think it's been a little over 6 hours. And it still sit at this 3 bars. Just keeping it right around 80 degrees at that setting. This setting will get at least 6 hours, if not more. It still says 1 hour remaining, which means it's more than an hour. But we'll find out. Alright, it's almost 10 o'clock. We're down to 10%. This is not going to last another 3.5 hours or 30 minutes or anything. But it's claiming 33 minutes right now. But I think I started at 2:45. So that puts it a little over 7 hours. So on this setting or below, you can easily get 7 hours, as long as you're not, in freezing cold weather. The colder it is, the more the blanket will run. Just check the temperature again. 82 degrees. They keep it somewhere between 78 and 82 degrees at the 50% power. So I'm going to stop it there. Just going to shut off at 5% or 4% anyway. So a little over 7 hours, about 7.5 hours, give or take, on this setting, depending on what the indoor temperature is for you. Right now it's 76 in here, but the top of this is warm, and that's probably why that's at 76. But that's okay, it's probably around 72 in here anyway. Alright, well, thanks for watching.